Hi, welcome to episode 5 of Herron Solutions podcast. Today we have Mia, and she works with or at Valencia County in the RISE program. Before we get started, I want to give you this mug. This is a mug we give to all of our guests. It's the only
Thank
way
you.
you can get it is by being a guest here.
Thank you, guys.
You're very welcome. So, can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Okay, I started the RISE program about almost 3 years now. I started as the RISE officer and went from the RISE officer to the RISE supervisor, and now I'm the RISE director. So it's completely different from my history. I have 17 years in corrections. 3 of those years are lieutenant. But I never really did programming like this. I did some programming when I worked at other jails, but never intense like this. So that's pretty much my background.
How does it feel to come from like the correction officer side, excuse me, to doing programming?
It's a complete reality slap in my face because coming from the correction side, it's very stern rules you got to follow, and I followed the rules by the book, everything. And coming to this side, I see the other side of corrections. There's always two sides of corrections, the inmate side and the officer side. So I get to see both sides. And now my outlook on this is completely different. Corrections completely different when I'm looking at it. Don't get me wrong, I'm still have corrections in my heart and I'll always be there, but I get to see the other side of it. It opened up my heart because my heart was very closed. I was a very mean person, a very shallow person. I didn't care. You were an inmate. You're there because you brought yourself there. That was my mentality all the time. I'm not going to help you because you're not even helping yourself. And then I came here and I started learning this side, and it completely opened my eyes, my heart, to see these people's story, because not all of them want this life. They were dealt this life. And I never thought about that. I always thought that, oh, they're here because they always want to mess up, or they're here because they want to be here. They don't want to do better for themselves. But as I got more and more knowledge where I'm at right now, I get to see and hear all these stories, and it opens up my heart and my mind to what I'm doing right now. So it's a great feeling. And even my kids are like, Mom, you're so different. You're not mean anymore. So that makes me feel good. Like, oh my God, was I really that mean? And I guess I was, because when other people see me that I work with, they're like, you're different. I work with some people that I work with right now, and they're like, where's Van at? Like, you're not her. But I'm not trying to be that person anymore. I can't be that person anymore doing this job. It's a completely different kind of job. So that's to answer your question. It's completely different.
That's beautiful to hear. The people that you're working with and hearing what you just said, that they were dealt this type of situation, and seeing them through a different light now is very important, because then you're able to begin helping in that sense. Not that you weren't before, but in a different capacity. So when you talk about the RISE program, can you let us know about what the RISE program entails and what this programming looks like? We've been hearing a lot about it. We've been seeing a lot of buzz, on some social media of people actually smiling and doing things. Can you tell us what the RISE program does and what it looks like?
Sure. So the RISE is based off mental health and drug and alcohol abuse. So my clients qualify if they've had a background of coming to jail in the past 3 years, have a strong support system on the outside. But I kind of changed that a little bit because a lot of them don't have a support system, so I become their support system. If they don't have violent charges, and I recently added a new one because we just started a lot of programs with them. So they have to. Started this program called Succeed. So it's a 16-week program that helps them deal with their triggers and shows them tools to get through the recovery road. So it's really good, and they graduate from it. Mm-hmm. So we started this, I want to say, maybe a month and a half ago, and I've had 4 graduates already. We're almost on the way. We have 2 more weeks, and we'll have 6 more graduating. And the 6 that are graduating right now are from our Violent pod. So it's our higher charge pod, and they're doing great. How I can be honest and say I didn't think they were going to do as well, but I think this is the best class I've had so far. So the other things we're doing at the Rise is we give them counseling. So they get a 1-hour session twice a week. They get a one-on-one session with me, and I do a peer support session with them on Fridays, every Friday. So they get a lot of stuff going on. I just started a cooking class with them. So we call it a cooking life skills class. So I think it's men on Tuesday, women on Thursday. I get to teach them just basic skills when they get out, because not everybody knows how to cook. Not everybody knows how to take care of stuff like that. I'm going to try to put in how to sew, how to wash, stuff like that. Life skills, so when they get out, they can take care of themselves. They don't have to depend on anybody else. Other than that one, we're working with this company called ICANN. So they come in on Monday mornings and have a session with my clients as well. I just want them to be out of the pod so they don't have to get in trouble or think about doing anything wrong. They're busy all week long. If they're busy out the week long, they won't get into no trouble. And that's what most of my clients are like, we need to be out of there. So this gives them something to get away from all that stuff in the jail, in the back, in the pods.
That's great. I remember you said that you have years of experience in this field. Can you give me a contrast of what day-to-day life looked like inside the facility before these programs were implemented?
Bad stuff happens because they have nothing else to do. You can only watch TV for so long. If you're out of the pod doing these programs, doing other things like that, working the detail, you're not going to get in trouble. There's 40 guys in a pod, so what are they going to do after 2 hours of watching TV? I think if we add more and more of these kind of programs, not just like my program, even other programs, exercising programs, anything kind of program, more religion coming in, there won't be so much problems in the jail.
So you've been able to see that before the programs, what it looked like, and
Yes.
what life looks like now. Mm-hmm. During the programs, there's a lot more productive activities going on.
Yes, especially with my clients. They even tell me, like, we get up in the morning and we're ready to go to programs. Before, we just get up in the morning and we're not ready to do anything. We don't look forward to doing anything. Now we have something to look forward to. That's really good.
Wow. I just want to say thank you very much for what you do. Thank you for having the heart that you have. Being able to, go in and see these people that are incarcerated, and just walking in there and, they're happy to be programming. They have smiles on their face. It's really amazing to witness and see that. If you don't mind me asking, how many people do you have in your RISE program?
So at all times right now, with the staff that I can have right now, I have 12. I have 18 men on my waiting list, and I have 8 girls on my waiting list. it's very hard in this jail to keep females because they only stay from 4 to 7 days. So it's really hard to program them, but I try to do the best I can. That's why I started referring them out to you guys, to other places, because they can continue it. Just because they don't get it from me, they can get it from somewhere else. But that's basically all the time. I have 12. I have 8 men and 4 females.
So just hearing the difference and helping people to know that they matter. I heard you say more programming within would continue to help make things better. You talked about the RISE program, the Succeed program, and it just makes me think about you all are giving people hope.
Yes.
You're giving them value, letting them know that they have value and that they're not just a number locked behind a door, and being able to see them for people. So that in itself is huge. And it makes me think about their future and how their future is going to be different because of this, and how their family's life may be different because of this. And then we talk about that ripple effect, how it just goes on and on and on. Knowing that from before, when you were, only on the correction side and now being on the programming side, can you tell us, I know that you've already had some success stories and you guys are continuing to work on these success stories and partnering with community agencies to help continue services when they get out. Can you share a little bit just on maybe what that looks like when they do transition out of your program, out of the jail, back in to the community and their families? Can you share anything that you've seen different?
Okay, so when they first come into the program, I create a release plan folder for them. So we sit down, we write out the release plan, what their goals are while they're in jail, and then when they get out. So when they get out, I have that folder for them. It has all the information, all the resources they need. It has train tickets to get to shelters if they're homeless here. I created a Rise Care backpack for all my homeless people that has a set of clothes in there for them, hygiene in there for them, and a train ticket to get to the shelters since we don't have one here. If you're not homeless, we get in contact with the treatment centers around our area to get them continue with their services with counseling and stuff like that. If they need extra help, like one of my girls really needed help with the kids because she had kids when she was going to get out. We try to get her into a shelter for battered women. One of the girls went there. She got her kids, got stable. She went out. She is doing great to this day. I stay real close with a Full Circle because that's what we work with in the jail. And they get in contact with them to get in contact with me to let them give updates. I have one guy till this day. I seen him maybe 2 weeks ago, and he's doing great. He's honest. He's like, I have my ups and my downs, but I'm still doing great. I have a job. I'm talking to my daughter again. I haven't used. It's just those little things make my job worth it. Everything that's negative about my job makes it all worth it to hear those little stories from them. I have one woman that she was a very bad drinker. She hasn't drank, I think she told me 2 months ago, it had been 407 days that she hadn't had a drink. And she said it's because of the program that I started with you, because I never tried to stop. So this is the first time she tried to stop, and she's still on that good road. And that makes me feel better, because if I can just change one person's life, it's worth it. And people tell me, well, they're back, or you didn't help them, they're back. That one person makes the difference for everybody else. You know, if I can change one person's life, that's all I need to do. And I've changed a lot of people's life. So my rate right now is, I want to say it's like a 92% rate that they don't come back. And I have maybe a handful in the 3 years that have come back. So I think I'm doing a great job with my clients. But they get, and sometimes they get mad, but they get so close to me, other than the counselors, because I'm real with them. I'll sit down and tell them, I'm not going to sugarcoat anything from you. You're going to get me real. You're going to get me on my mad days and my happy days. I'm going to tell you how it is. You may not like it that day, but maybe you need to hear it. So I think that closeness with them, they trust me more. Before I had to wear a uniform. Now that I became a director, I don't have to wear the uniform. So I think it eased them up to trust me more and make them want to open up a little bit more to me. But I get that, because I don't want to be telling a correctional officer and officer, you know, their problems. But once I change into my regular clothes, it's like totally different with them. I have a closer bond with them. They can open up and tell me whatever. They message me and say, I need to talk to you about something. They come in, they talk to me about something. And sometimes they don't talk to the counselor about the same thing, but I have that bond with them. And everybody around it that works with me, they're really close to you. And I said, because I'm real with them. I don't sugarcoat anything for them. You know, they're going to get real, and they're not going to like it one day. They might like it one day, but that's who I am. That's always who I've always been.
I'm really excited about your programs. I believe and I know that when individuals become incarcerated and wind up in jail, this is forced self-reflection. There's no better place to reflect than sitting in the same spot doing the same thing. But although that's a good thing in an excess, it's not to self-reflect and be able to do nothing to change the behaviors. So I really like how your program has came in and during this self-reflection offer different options, explore what does your self-reflection look like? What direction do you want to go from here? So with that in mind, have you seen any change in, say, the revolving door as people getting out and coming back, getting out and coming back? Have you seen a change in that?
Yeah, like I was telling Michelle, my rate is 92% of them not coming back.
Great.
So I can count on both hands of people in the 3 years that have come back. And I have over, I want to say 400 clients since then. So I do, and I forgot to tell you guys that I started a Facebook for the RISE program. And one of my clients, she said that her son's seen it, and she told her mom, man, Mom, you look so happy. You look so different. And she does. She looks so different. And I have a few that are going to prison, but they still are happy. And when they go to prison, there's not programs like this. And I wish there was programs like this for them to continue on there. And maybe that's the next step I have to take. My next road is to go into a prison and start this kind of program. But there, you could see the difference from the day one picture, because there's a picture I take from the day one when they come in, and from the pictures that are on Facebook, it's a totally different person. Then sure, there's some that just want to be there to get out of the pod. You have a handful of those ones, but most of my clients are really there they want to change their lives.
Is your program in contact or in open communication with other county jails in the region to maybe compare programs and compare numbers, and maybe they could follow your model? Is that something that happens?
Yes, so the RISE has 16 counties that do this right now.
Okay.
So I'm not the only one. I was, I think, the second one to start the RISE program, but we have 16 counties right now. I was just talking to my boss, and I'm the third, no, I think she said the third, maybe the second. I'm her rock star program. So I'm very proud of that, because I did work really hard when I got here. Because my program at first was just a program, just counseling, come in, talk to the counselor, go. You know, because they didn't have anybody to run it. The person that was running it, he was too busy to be doing all that stuff. So when they hired me, I had to do it from the ground up, think about the stuff to do, put things in place. And when I I want to say in place maybe the last 6 months, it's really been rolling the way it's supposed to. I'm still not where I want it, but it's going to get there.
And the Facebook page you spoke about, how does somebody find that to
So
check it out?
it's under Valencia County's RISE program.
Okay.
I do a little, it's not on a private page, it's on my personal page. I do it on TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram, but I have a personal page for the RISE program.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, with this RISE program, while they're incarcerated, are they able to participate once they become a client or a participant? Are they able to stay with you the whole time that they're in there until they get released? Or what is the eligibility, like the process look like? How can somebody, once they're in there, come into the program, and then can they stay the whole time? And then once they leave you, is there like aftercare still with RISE, or is that just out with a different agency? What is the, like, kind of the step-by-steps?
Okay. So each client that comes into the RISE program will continue to participate in the RISE until they get released. With the Succeed program, like I said, it's only 16 weeks, a 16 session. We try to break it down into like at least 4 weeks, 5 weeks, because our clients don't stay there that long. We want everybody to graduate, so that's just we're trying to work with that right now. But once they get released from the RISE program, I have a 2-week follow-up, so I will follow up them every week for 2 weeks. I keep following up with them, but that's what we're required to do. Like my guy, he's been gone for almost the same time I've been there. I'm still following up with them. I told him, my services don't end when you walk out that door. If you need me, call me. I'm here. All my staff's here for you. If they need services from somewhere else while they're not in here, we still send them to you. I want to send anybody that wants the help and needs the help, gets that help. It's very important to know, because a lot of my clients don't have support systems. Mm-hmm. So automatically I have to be their support system. Mm-hmm. So with saying that, I can't stop at 2 weeks, because their addiction doesn't stop in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So I have to still be there for them. I see a few clients. We went to a big recovery event in Albuquerque, and one of my clients came up to me and like, I'm doing good. I'm here. I'm helping them. And that was great. Even the girl that was with me, she was like, oh my God, that's so great to see. And it was great for me to see it, because they said, what I'm doing something good then, so it was a good feeling.
Yes, and as I hear you talk, I see your face light up every time you talk about those clients. And, we do say it's great to hear those stories when they are being successful and they are maintaining. But because of the work we do, I know that the ones that do have difficulty, our hearts are still with them.
Yes.
And we never lose hope for them. But can you speak to those ones who may be struggling, and maybe today they're hearing, they've been through a program, there was some seeds planted in maybe in the jail or in a RISE program or Succeed, whatever it may be. Can you maybe speak to those people who may have started but maybe fell off and aren't continuing with some of those skills that they learned? Can you speak to them and let them know what maybe they can do to get back on track, or some of the things that you discussed with them to let them know that they still matter?
Sure. So I have a couple right now in my program that have messed up and came back. And I kind of become their mom. So I'm like their mom, and they're my little kids. And I'm like, come back here, I'm going to pull you by your ear. I tell them all the time, and they're like, no, we're not going to come back. But then when they come back, I had to have an effect on their life because they're embarrassed and they're ashamed and they don't want to see me. But I go out and I reach out to them. I'm like, you want to be back in the program? And they're like, yes, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry I messed up. And I'm like, I tell them all the time, everybody's not perfect and everybody's going to mess up. It's how you get yourself back up and do it again. Mm-hmm. Make yourself better the next time. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, you're right. I need to get up and do it again. I said, don't stay down there. Because that's when you fail, is when you stay down there. Just get right back up, try it again, because you're going to fall again. You're human. We all going to fall again. I'm not perfect. I tell them, no, I don't have a background in drug and alcohol abuse, but I have another background in something else. And I'm not perfect. I know what you guys are going through. So when I do fall like that, I get myself back up and try it again. Tomorrow's a new day. And they're like, oh, okay. But just for somebody that's out there and is on that ground and hasn't got back up, just dust yourself off, look forward, don't ever look backwards, and try it again. That's all you can do.
So when you switch roles in corrections, you had said you were a correction officer for 17 years, and you switched to the RISE director. What made you make that decision to switch over to programming?
So I was offered a position. I was working in security at the time. Once you go into corrections, you can try to get out, but you're never going to get out. You're going to always come right back. I left twice, and I'm right back where I'm supposed to be. So they offered me a job, and I said, you know what, I'm going to try it. It can't hurt to try. So I did this at a different jail. I did little programs here and there with them, coloring sessions, painting sessions, stuff like that. But I never went full force programs. I've always been a correctional officer. So it was a challenge for me. So I said, let me face this challenge. Let me do it. I'm very shy. And a lot of people are like, you're not shy. But when it comes to stuff like this, I am. I don't like to talk too much, but I said this is going to help me overcome that fear and maybe get my talking skills a little bit better, but that's what mostly made me come to this side of corrections.
So what's next, Mia, with your RISE program and continuing to help Valencia County and grow as you guys have been growing, and this jail here with, the warden and you and the MAP program with Sarah, and just having a heart for these people. And I hear you guys say so many times, we don't want them back in our jail. We don't want them back in our jail. So what's next for the RISE program, and what's next in continuing to help support these people that are coming in? What's next in your programming? Any next steps that you can think of?
So I have a few programs I'm starting this year. One of them is Dress for Brilliance. So any of my clients that go out and looking for a job, they don't have the clothes, you can come in. I'll give you a set of clothes, slacks, shirt, dress pants for the girls, shoes. So you can go out and get that job and start your life. If you don't have a job, you're not going to be on the road. You're going to be in the streets where we don't want you to be. So just a little something to help them, get them back on their feet. My next step with the RISE program is I want to get a second counselor. So I'll have one in the morning and in the afternoon. Right now, I just have one in the afternoon, so I can have more clients. That's always been my goal, is to have a lot of clients. So that's my next goal I'm working on, is to get a second counselor for the program. The next kind of program I want to start is going out in community, going out to the shelters, have a pop-up tent, which I have purchased, handing out food, hygiene to all the people that need it, giving them some information from places like your guys's, and letting them know that there's help out there. If they really want it, they can get it. But so far that's what I'm working on this year. But I just want to get the RISE program a little bit known outside the jail. Like Josh said, nobody knows who I am because I don't like to put myself out there. It's all about my clients, but I do have to put myself out there to see so people can get in touch with me so I can help my clients. But I just want my RISE program to be known all over in Berlin, Albuquerque, surrounding areas. So maybe I can get continued help. Like you guys are great. You guys are a very big help to my program, and I want to thank you all for it because my clients really do enjoy the peer support that you guys give them. They are learning so much. It's not just you guys going in there talking to them. It's you guys going in there teaching them, giving them the tools they can use when they leave. And they're really learning because they come back and tell me like, oh, I tried this or I tried that. Or, when he said it, to do this, I tried it and it worked. And I like to hear that because I know they're listening and they're learning. So stuff like that. I would like to get another session, another day with peer support. It's just, I wish I had more days in the week, but I don't. So we'll have to rearrange something around. But I do want to start another, kind of like what you're doing with this is integration house?
Yes, the sober living, transitional living.
I would like to do that too. That's something I would be interested in doing. I want to do a little bit more things with the females because we really don't have a lot with the females, and I have a lot of homeless females right now. So to get something started for my female clients would be great. Yeah, so that's in my brain, thinking of ideas what to do with them, but they'll come.
That's awesome. Vision is always good to
Yes.
see, where you're going. As you were talking about the programming and the skills that these clients are getting and learning, I can't help but think about them coming and discussing these things, but then also even the changes starting happening, like how you just said, they go and they try it. So in my mind, I'm also thinking if they're going and trying it, then they're probably going and sharing it.
They do.
In their pods. Have you seen that?
I have seen it. I've heard it. I've gotten messages from other people saying, so-and-so is doing this, and I really liked it. Can I join? So I've gotten a lot of hearsay clients wanting to join my program. So now that I started these other sessions, it's a lot more, not just counseling, but it's other, life skills, cooking skills, everything, just not talking to a counselor because some people don't like to do that, But when they're coming into doing my cooking class or doing my life skills class, we're still talking though. We're still talking about everyday situations. I try to put that together for them. Like, tell me, how's your day going? I don't like war stories because it can trigger them, and I tell them all the time. I don't like to hear that, but, how's your day today? How's it going? I listen to them because I had one of my clients, her daughter passed away, and the anniversary of her daughter passing just came. So I pulled her out. I had a one-on-one session with her, and just from me doing that with her, changed her whole outlook on me. And she told me nobody's ever cared this much. And that's sad. It makes me look back like, oh my God, I was that kind of person. I was that mean person that didn't care about anything. And even my supervisor now that I have, she's seeing the other side, and she's like, oh my God, like, I see what you see now. Now I can understand why you're helping these people, because you have to come in and educate yourself. Because if you're not educated, you're going to be like me and not have the mindset of these people don't need help. But once you sit there and you hear their stories and you get to know them on a one-on-one basis, it's totally different. Then you get to understand, like, now I know why you went down that road. Yesterday I asked this girl, because she has a good family, she's educated, why did you go down this road? And it all stemmed from her using pills when she got in an accident. And that's so sad, you know, from you having an accident to taking pills, now you're in jail for using drugs, stealing, all this stuff because of that one situation. You know, that's terrible. That takes me, it makes me sad, you know, because her life can be completely different. She has college education. She shouldn't be in this situation. But from using her prescription drugs and then abusing them, this is where she's at. It's just crazy. So you don't know the stories behind these people. You got to get to know it.
So what I hear is you have a huge heart. You're very compassionate with your clients. What makes you think, or what is your, or I don't know how to say it. What has made you passionate in this job? Like, what motivates you? Why do you think you do what you do?
Because I grew up with this lifestyle my whole life. From my parents to my siblings, I've always seen this kind of lifestyle. I'm the only one that's never been into that lifestyle. So seeing other people live the lifestyle and then seeing people that I know from high school or from other jobs and come into jail and seeing them hooked on drugs and alcoholics, I'm lucky and I'm blessed that I never went down that road. So right now, I just want to help them let them know that they have a better life and they can be living a better life. And they're better than where they are right now. And they can get there. You just need, and nobody's going to get there unless you want to get there. You can help somebody all you want to, but if that person's not ready, then it's not going to happen. I've had many cousins, even my mom and my dad. My dad died about 6 years ago, but he was still drinking, using drugs. And it was sad, you know, to see my father do that, because my father is my everything, you know. But to see my father do that, and my mother stopped a long time ago, but to see him when he was dying, that he was still using drugs and drinking, knowing that he wasn't supposed to be doing that, that kind of got my heart. And then now that I came to doing this job, it just opened my eyes up to know that I need to help somebody, because nobody helped my dad. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.
Because I think I would have my dad still here if he had somebody to help them.
Thank you for being here.
Well, Mia, we thank you so much for being here with us today. We thank you for what you do and just the heart that you have for these clients that you work with in your community. So we just ask you to keep up the great work, continue to do what you do. We would like to continue on this journey with you and help however we can. As you know, whether it's with us or with anybody else in the community, we are here to help this community. And so we, again, just thank you for what you do and thank you for coming on today.
Thank you for having me, and I think we're going to have a long relationship with you guys, and I thank you guys for everything that you do for the RISE program.
Thank you.
Thank you.